Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mabimpressions. Today we're going to talk about Orcs Must Die 3. We're going to talk about the story, the gameplay, is it good, is it bad, is it worth buying, etc. So, really quick, I am coming into Orcs Must Die 3 pretty fresh. I have played the first one many years ago, but I don't remember much of it. I think I only played about half an hour to an hour, but I am aware that the game, was a tower defense, kind of like Dungeon Defenders. So, is this game worth buying? Is it worth playing? Well, right now this game is $30 US, and it's available on pretty much everything right now except Switch and mobile, as far as I can tell. Like PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One. Whoa, it's on Google Stadia. Holy crap. So I played the Steam version, and I do have to say I will address this, and it might not be relevant if you're watching this review in the future, but it runs really well on it, like really well. My CPU usage, my memory usage was good, except the GPU usage. I'm running a 2080 graphics card, and for the most part, almost the whole time I played last stream, which was like 5-6 hours plus, it ran around 90% of my GPU usage, and that is not good. They did a day one patch that sort of fixed the problem, where they just capped the FPS at 60 while they hopefully find a long-term solution. But holy crap, man, you should have seen the room. Well, you can't see. The whole room temperature was nuts. I had opened the window, had opened the, but I couldn't stop playing because it's a really good game. So I guess that that speaks for itself. So this game is, like I said, a tower defense game where, there's a little bit of story from what I can tell. It does build off the first two games with like slight cinematics, and I think it takes place like decades, 100 years plus, and you start with two new recruits that the academy is training, and then there's like the legendary hero that you played in the other games and stuff like that. But it's up to you to continue protecting the whole world or whatever have you, your rifts from these orcs, and there is a lot of orcs in this game. So how does the gameplay work? What are the different modes in the game? Well, there are two campaigns right now, and each map takes a while. It could take somewhere between 10 minutes to 40 minutes, or like 10 minutes, 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes on longer stages. But there's two campaigns, and the first one is around 18 stages. And if you guys want an idea, I've went through 11 stages, and that's about 6 hours in. But I did do some other stuff like the weekly challenges, and I also did some of the endless mode. The endless mode is pretty sweet because you pretty much go through other maps that you've played before, and then as soon as you get to like the point where the map is supposed to end, they non-stop throw orcs at you, which is really scary. And then the weekly mode is where you have just a set character, and you have set traps at set levels, and with a little twist on it. And as of recording this, the current week 1 challenge was your health continuously drains, so you have to be in the thick of things beating down orcs, but then they have a high chance of dropping HP pots. So this game is not heavily story based, it's primarily just for the gameplay. But it does it really well. This is an excellent tower defense game, and I love tower defense games, but this one you actually are on the field controlling your character. You got ceiling traps, you got wall traps, you have floor traps, and this game added something that wasn't in the first two games, and let me get the name right here. This is war scenarios. So they have massive maps with, oh my god, the map's huge, and thousands of orcs come at you. So basically think of like a regular map where it's just like, maybe it's a rift here, and you have like three entrances where orcs come in. This is just like a giant map. Like for example, the first war scenario, it is pretty much a giant field with rocks, and then it goes to a bridge, and then a gigantic long bridge where you have to defend it, and then two tiny rooms, and then there's a gate here, and then maybe there's a large courtyard. And there are a ton of ways to deal with these. There are many different, there's like 6 heroes right now. I hope the game continues to build on this. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe more campaigns with more characters, because right now there's 6 characters, like I said, 2 campaigns, and then there is an endless mode, a weekly challenge, and then at the end of the game, after you beat the first scenario, you're supposed to unlock something called Scramble to Survive, which is a new mode that pits you against vile orcs who evolve with increasing difficulty, but each level you survive, you get your own modifier, so it kind of feels like a procedurally generated battle there, so I can't wait to get that. But that's like, man, like 8, 9, 10 hours in. I'm almost there. I'm going to be streaming it, and if you guys are interested, I'll be uploading the full stream on this channel along with this little review there. So the war scenarios are amazing. There are traps that are only used in war scenarios, like a gigantic band of archers, or you guys know those little flip traps to knock them out. There's gigantic ones, so there's just a lot going on there. So my favorite part about the game definitely are the war scenarios, because they actually also have different sort of traps where you can sit in like giant machine guns or catapults and things. The game is single player, multiplayer up to 4 people. Right now I'm playing the whole game single player, and I have to say it is a challenge. I definitely think if you do play multiplayer, they do scale it well, but it's ultimately going to be easier if you have people who know what they're doing, or if you have at least one guy who can maybe direct others, because it's so hard to get around the map and just control everything with your own character. You have health, you have mana. You can see the map. The map, I wish they changed that a little bit. The map is on the top right, and it's very opaque. I wish you can darken it more so you can see it. There is a button you can press, and I am using a Xbox controller. I'll talk about that in a bit, but I wish there was a button. There is a button, so you can bring it up in front of your screen, but it kind of covers everything. I just wish you could make it more darker on the top right. But yeah, Xbox One controller, it works really well. I had no problems. The only way I lost or died was because of my own inept ability to defend my rift. But definitely keyboard and mouse works well. I played that for a bit, but then I ultimately put in the controller because I'm not playing a PvP game. I'm not playing a ranked game. It's just chill. So, with my controller, I can sit back on my chair. With my keyboard, I got to be hunched over. So, if possible, I always like to test out the gamepad controls, and this one is really good. You can remap controls. You can mess with the, the sensitivity and all that. They have little shortcuts, because this game is all about on the fly shooting enemies and putting down traps, especially in the middle of battle, where maybe you put everything down, right? You put all your traps down and you fight, and then they're about to get to the end, but you have a bunch of money left over, so you make a last stand around your rift, so you have to quickly press the shoulder buttons to get through all the stuff, but then you have to press the shoulder buttons 5 more times to get back to your main weapon. Well, they have shortcuts like up D-pad to go to your main weapon, or you press LT so it goes to your ranged weapon or melee weapon. So it's really nice that way. It's just a little cumbersome during war scenarios for moving it around, because on the regular game, you maybe have to press L1 or R1 maybe up to 7 or 8 times to get to the end of both areas. Of course, you press left on the left one, and it goes to the right hotbar there. But in war scenarios, it adds another hotbar on the right for your specific war scenario abilities. And oh man, it's a tough thing navigating that with a keyboard. With a gamepad. So that's a little rough. I didn't really talk about the gameplay that much. I talked about a lot of the modes. So let's go into what a typical stage would look like. So this game is a extremely good dungeon defender. If you guys like the first one or second one, you should definitely play this one. It's really, really fun. It's smooth as hell. So pretty much you start a map, and there is a little dialogue. It's not a lot of cinematics, because this game is, even though the lore is there, the story is there, it doesn't dwell on it. It's, the whole point of this game is you want to test your skills and mess with the new traps and weapons and survive. So you go into, before you jump into a map, you have the option of unlocking new traps. I think there was 40 plus traps. I think there's something like that. It could be 40 to 60 traps at the moment of this. And there's a good amount of weapons, and there's trinkets. So all the different traps you can unlock using skulls. And skulls are obtained when you complete a level for the very first time, and when you just play levels again, you get a little bit more skulls. So that pretty much counts as your account currency. And I think in the other games you level up a trap using currency, but then I don't remember if you could respec them or not. Here you can do it on the fly. So if you're having trouble with a stage, you quit out the stage, you respec your points, you don't lose anything. The only The only things you don't get back, the only skulls you don't get back, are the ones you spent to actually unlock the new weapon and stuff. But every time you, for example, you have a spike trap, you could spend 4 mana to, 4 skulls to increase the damage, 5 to increase the damage even more, 6 to do it to like a level 3, and then they have specific unique upgrades. So this game incentivizes you for using other traps. Like, hey, you have this new shock, like a shock wall trap. Is it good? Kill like 75 enemies with it, and then you can unlock one to two modifiers. Like, oh, this one now does piercing damage, this one charges faster. Or one of my favorites is the archer trap, where you put it on the ground and then you have an archer lady who just shoots in a direction. And when you use them enough, they level up, and then they have an ability where it's like, oh yeah, they can regen over time, or they do fire damage. So it's really nice that way. The game, so what am I talking about? Okay, there's also weapons. Same thing. There's like blunderbusses, magic arrows, throwing flask on the ground, hammers, swords, etc. You know, the basic stuff. And then there's trinkets, where you can passively equip it for something or use it. So you get health pots, passive regen, mana regen, maybe something that spawns a cloud of lightning to attack the enemies. So you upgrade all that, and then you go into the stage, and then it gives you a chance to look around the map. And it's really clever what they did here. They have ghost orcs running through the map, letting you know where they're going to go, so you can plan out. So if you can see, like, okay, I can put a barricade here to block them, and then the ghost moves over here, so they all funnel around this area. Now, should I make this my kill box? Or I can use tar traps and archers to slow them down, and then when they get into the larger area, we can funnel them in even more, and maybe put some, brimstone. There's a lot going on here. And there's many ways to win, and there's many ways to lose a stage. So you can focus on primarily traps, or you can, you can have really weak traps, but focus more on like the combat scenario. So there's a lot of CC going on here, crowd controlling. There's a lot of damaging. It's just fun. Even if you lose a stage, it's like, wow, okay, I learned. I'm ready to go back in, but I'm gonna switch this trap out for this trap out, or maybe I'll try out this hero there. So each stage you win. You get skulls, like I said, and it's based on how fast you complete it. Because you might think like, oh, it just, they just run in and they die. They run in and die. If, there's DPS, right? Your own DPS. So if you take too long, or maybe you reroute them a slow way, it'll take too long. And also you get like skulls for not being attacked. How many rift points you have left, because every orc that gets to a rift, it's usually one down. It takes down one. And there are boss units where if they run into it, they usually take down like 5 to 10 points. So you do that, you set everything up, you spend all your money, and then you unleash the horde, and then they come on in, they break down doors, they break down barricades, you fight with everything, you lure them into the traps, you push them off, cliffs. It's really, really fun. It's just a good game. Like, I don't know how else to sell you on it if you are interested in Orcs Must Die 3. If you played 1 and 2, this game is for you. If I would recommend playing on maybe a console for now until they fix it. And I don't know, this is day 2 of the game's release, so I don't know if they have fixed anything. But I was playing before the pre-patch, before the patch where they capped the frames. So I'm gonna try it again today during the stream, and we'll see if hopefully the GPU usage is lowered, because it's a lot, it's so much. So this is a great game. Definitely check it out. It's on everything except Switch and iOS and Android. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't already, sub for daily videos. Come by Twitch. I'll be streaming it. And of course, to I'm gonna be simultaneously uploading the stream along beside the review. So if you want, I'll put a link to it so you can see it down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.